Hey, good Wednesday evening, everybody. This is Steve, Monday Chief Forecaster. Wanted to jump in real quickly and give you an update on Hurricane Zeta. It is starting to make its way inland. It's actually made landfall in Louisiana, and it's going to continue to track northeast over the next couple of hours. This storm is actually zipping along pretty quickly, and it's going to have an impact on our weather as we go through the overnight hours and definitely through the first half of the day tomorrow on Thursday. A couple of things are happening here. So Zeta, as it continues to move northeast, it's going to merge with a cold front that's making its way into the area as well. And that's going to continue to collect a lot of moisture. The good news for us is a lot of that moisture is going to stay up toward the mountains, which is obviously bad news for them. Most of the heavy rainfall is going to be up along what we call the Blue Ridge Escarpment, and that'll be areas like west of Morganton and up into Asheville, places like that, as it starts to make its way into the western North Carolina mountains. Most of the heavy rainfall will occur right through that area. Unfortunately for us, we're going to get the higher winds, and we could see some very, very high winds as we go through the mid-morning hours tomorrow to the early afternoon hours tomorrow. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But again, we're going to continue to keep an eye on the track of Zeta. And keep in mind, this storm is moving along so fast that in the next couple of hours, it's actually going to start to impact the southwest corner of North Carolina. And that's after making landfall just about an hour ago. So let's take a look at what's currently going on in terms of watches and warnings with this storm, because there's a lot of them out there. As you can see, all this red making its way from the Louisiana coastline into southern Virginia. Those are all tropical storm warnings. These are inland tropical storm warnings that are making their way up through here. And what that means is we could see, mainly for the winds, we could see winds in excess of 50, 60 miles an hour. And we'll talk more about the potential wind speeds here in just a moment. As you get up into the mountains along the Tennessee border, that is a high wind warning where all that yellow is. And then off to the east of us, those are wind watches and advisories. So we'll certainly continue to keep an eye on it. But here in Rowan County, we are under a tropical storm warning. So let's talk about the impacts from Zeta. Zeta weather impacts include rain becoming more widespread as we move through the overnight hours. We'll see the winds start to increase, and tropical storm force winds will become likely during the early morning hours on Thursday. By mid-morning on Thursday, we could see winds gusting as high as 60 miles per hour, and power outages are the main concern, with a low threat for an isolated tornado. But keep in mind, the wind is going to be the biggest threat. The tornado threat, just mentioning it because we can't rule it out, but by far the wind is going to be the bigger deal for us, and we're going to continue to keep an eye on that. As far as wind gust goes, models are indicating that anywhere between 10 a.m. and around 1 p.m. tomorrow here in Rowan County, we could see winds gusting as high as 61 miles per hour. And keep in mind that, with the saturated soil we have outside, along with the potential that we will have some rain included in this, just not the heavier rain that's going to be west of us, it could bring in the potential for power lines to come down, trees to come down. So certainly plan on the potential for widespread power outages around the county tomorrow, and make sure that you're charging your phones, your laptops, any kind of devices you need, things like that. The good news is by around 1 p.m. tomorrow, this thing starts to move out. It's going to be windy all day long tomorrow. Let's just face it. The reason why is because we've got this cold front coming in anyway. And when you get a drastic temperature change like we're getting ready to experience with the cold front, it gets windy. Same thing if you have a warm front coming in behind cold air. The winds are adjusting, and that's because there's a big pressure release going on in the atmosphere anyway. So it's going to be a windy day anyway. We unfortunately have the timing of Zeta coming along to increase those wind chances. And again, keep in mind, we could see winds gusting as high as 60 miles per hour here tomorrow, which will likely prompt some severe thunderstorm warnings along the way as well. As far as rain accumulations go, looking for anywhere from around a half an inch to an inch being possible here in the county. The heaviest rains, again, are going to be further west. Can't rule out the fact that we could get a pocket of heavy rainfall coming in, but again, the winds are going to be the bigger story. We'll keep you updated on Rowan County weather on our website at www.rowancountyweather.com, on our social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can also check us out if you know someone who doesn't utilize the internet or they don't utilize social media and they have cable television. We're on WSRG TV in Salisbury, so they can get a local forecast from us as well, especially during the times with this storm coming through. And we'll keep you updated on all those platforms. For now, as always, thank you for following Rowan County weather, and enjoy the rest of your evening.